on me. Yeah, where the girls are. This is how your nights will be. All eyes on me.
All eyes on the prize, money supersized. G5 super fly, should be supervised. Do or die, open up your eyes, head to the sky. Keep a mean bad mommy on the side. Make a tsunami, kamikaze on the mind. Spit flow, paparazzi flash shine. Get dough, champagne, Merlot. Cash and tango, in the VIP. Now she wanna touch her ankle. Get low, mueve mami como el dembow. All eyes on me, peeping through the window. Get mine, get yours, believe it or not. In the meantime, I'ma keep my eyes on the
All
top.
eyes on me, drinks on me, girls on me, on the dance floor. All eyes on me, who is he? Man, you better come get your girls out. All eyes on me, party like a rock star. You can find me in VIP. All eyes on me, yeah, where the girls are. This is how your nights will be.
All eyes on me, indeed. Welcome, everybody, to a brand new installment of the ME Show. Your strategic partner, Ali Madawi, in here. And oh, my goodness, I got an episode that's going to make you lose your easy. Let me tell you this. Very, very, very rarely that I have an episode that is very personal to me. And absolutely, this one is going to be just that. The gentleman that I have in the literal physical studio is a decorated veteran, not only of traditional business, for bars, restaurants, real estate, jewelry businesses, a coach from baseball, softball, a father, a husband, and one of the most sought after entrepreneurs from the online space, whether it's network marketing, affiliate marketing, high ticket, you name it. He has been exploring it, been in it, made money with it, and absolutely solidified his position. And he put an incredible amount of impact on me. On the other hand, a friend that I got to hang out with, to party with, to travel the world with. And I even at one point of my life when I was in the dark, got to treat him like dirt. And I'm going to talk about that as well. I got to the point that I even called him a racist. Yeah, that's the kind of episode that we're going to be talking about today. I had a conversation with him about a week or so ago, and I finished when he was like, hey, I'm with my parents. I will call you back. And I said, I just wanted you to know you were right. And that's how we reignited recently. And I am so grateful for the opportunity to have him in here to have not only a personal conversation, a friend-to-friend conversation. I am pretty sure he has some stories under his sleeves that I don't even recall of our times together. But I'm excited. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time in the physical ME studios, the one and only Kevin Marino. Yeah.
How's up?
What's up, indeed. First and foremost, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I know we just spent a whole day together.
Yeah.
Literally, we broke bread together. We worked together. We recorded some videos together. We did some fun stuff together.
Drank some Red Bulls together.
You drank some Red
yeah.
Bulls together. I just told you I think Red Bulls has semen in them, but it's a conversation for a different episode. But, let's dive in. It's been a while since you and I have been at this business thing. It's been a while since you and I have kind of collaborated, worked together, and separated and collaborated and worked together again. It's been a while since I would say you and I have grown into who we've become today. We went from the avatar entrepreneurs who have to play a role and play a persona to guys that I know myself. I'm like, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm just going to be myself. And it seems that lately, more than ever, over the last couple of years, you were like, I'm going to be myself. I'm no longer going to play a role. Business has been good to us in certain parts of our lives. In others, it kicked our asses pretty bad. It taught us a lot of lessons. And there's a lot that people don't know. And I'm going to dive into the fun stories. I'm going to dive into the lessons. And I'm going to dive into the projects that you have nowadays as well. So
Sounds like fun.
Sounds like we got a lot to unfold. So why don't we start with where is Kevin Marino, or what has changed since 2012 Kevin Marino until 2024 Kevin Marino?
I'll tell you that's a hell of a journey. Those last 12 years have been a serious roller coaster. I mean, we went from building a stupidly large organization of 146,000 people to watching the company make just one of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen in network marketing. Dumbest. They got rid of their largest asset, keeping their customers, got rid of their network, and that was their biggest asset. They could have sold the network for double what they sold the customers for.
And the network will probably still be winning as well till this day.
Oh, I guarantee.
Yeah,
because that was a rare network. That was a very strong leadership
culture.
I was going to say the strong culture, a lot of friends that were built into that, because most of it was built in a few states. So you weren't even nationwide.
13 states, I think it was.
Yeah. And most of it was the Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
So there was probably about 8 or 9 states that had the vast majority of that company. So we got together all the time. When you talk about partying together, I mean,
literally,
we did Christmas parties, we did
July parties,
summer parties. Oh my God, those summer parties were
travel.
Intense.
You talk about Barbados. We did, gosh, so many openings. I remember we did Ohio together, we did Atlanta together, we did Texas, we did the simulcast together. It was
a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of fun.
The question that is going to bear in everybody's mind, and I think we should kind of evaluate, is if that was the dumbest decision that's ever been made. I mean, look, some people are going to be like, well, the owners and the leaders have walked away with, $100+ million, and however that was profitable to them, it was.
The owners did.
That's what I'm getting at. No, I get what you did there. Like, hey, I know you said it, Ali, but let me say it for you. So what it was the dumbest in terms of they just saw a short end of the journey, or like, what do you mean when you say that was the dumbest? Because some people may say like that was actually a very smart thing that they have done for themselves as business owners.
Well, they were able to sell the customer. See, the problem was they knew the energy business, so they knew they could sell the energy customers for X amount of dollars. The problem is they didn't understand the major asset they had in their hands, which was a team of well over 100,000 people that were building
and consistently bringing customers.
Right. And there were other companies within the space who would have paid them double what the customers were worth
for the sales force
and the customer to come with it. So they could have taken the customer and the sales force into a couple different companies who literally would have paid them double. Instead, they kicked the sales force loose.
So is there,
threw us to the curb, sort of speak.
Literally? Is there any insights? Because look, we've seen Carrie Breitbart lately, one of the principal owners that was very forward facing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an understanding, or is there any conversations that you were privy to that led you to understand, to like, all right, I get it why you've done it? Like, is there any justifiable reasoning for it, or it's like, no, it's still a dumb thing that you've done?
Well, there was certain people, the way I understand it, there were certain people who owned more of the company, who knew less of the network, didn't understand the network as well, who made the decision.
Got it.
And when you're going to do it that way, and if you're guys who only understand energy and you don't understand networkers and what a network can bring you, I mean, think about putting other products through that network. Think about selling off that network to a company who has 8 to 10 products, service products already that could then run through that same network. Think about how valuable that network would have been to, I mean, it would have been worth $100 million.
Me and you can sit here and say it was the dumbest decision. And I agree, because
we weren't asked was the problem.
And I think there was more than we also didn't know, or we weren't told, because from what I understand, there's one part that pisses me off about that whole situation, is that when I was on that stage in August of 2014, and I'm like introducing Thrive instead of North American Power, the conversations already happened. I mean, there was already transactions that were already taking place, and there was documentation that showed that
behind the scenes.
Right.
Yep.
So that's the part that pisses me off. Like, that it brings us back to the crappy scenarios and or situations from what people don't like and hate about network marketing. And I think we also were so in love with what we have. I'll say it, man. I loved what we have for the first time. I mean, we've done the undoable, no cost, no investment. You know, and you're creating like 6 and 7 figure earners from no cost, no investments.
Yeah, it was.
I remember Viridian and everything, like, there's no way you guys will never make it.
Oh man, everybody laughed at us. They're like, no way you can ever do that. That'll never work.
So
It did.
So the decision was based on lack of sustainability, or was it based on greed, or was it based on not understanding long term of network marketing? Like, what do you think led to that bad decision?
A few things. One, we built the network, but them taking all technology in-house cost them a fortune.
Gotcha.
So it cost them a lot more to run the company than it should have. Number one, a lot of that should have been outsourced. Number two, I'm going to say it, and I said it back then, I didn't think the absolute free model, in my opinion, was the way to go. I thought there should have been like a $10 website charge, because that's your
just a little back. I mean, when you have 100,000 people paying $10 a month,
it's not a lot of money to each person,
but it's $1 million a month. That's
a buffer. It pays for technology.
Yeah.
So instead of this,
I think if they said to the whole network, hey, we're starting, January 1st, 2015, we're going to implement a $10 a month, I don't think anybody would have had a hard time with that.
No, nobody would have lost. I mean, they could have easily done $10 a month or $99 a year. Nobody would have blinked.
Do you think that would you consider that one of the biggest black eyes that network marketing has experienced over the last 10, 15 years? That whole network marketing situation that we've seen with the energy company?
You know, I think it was a black eye. They did some things to save themselves in that they kept paying people.
I still get a check, by the way.
I mean, I still do too. It's
$98.
I would say mine was 2% of what it once was, but I mean, think about January's now 9 years, no, 10 years.
Oh, dude, you're
It'll be 2005. That's 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years later, and you're still getting an actual check, even if it diminished. But
correct.
Yeah.
So all the people is like, they're only going to pay you for 3 months or 6 months, and try to get us to go.
No, I was shocked for the first 2 years. I mean, I'm like, it's still in the 4 figures. Like,
So I never looked at the guys and said, hey, you didn't have integrity. So the guys who ran the network, I thought, they had integrity, but I thought the guys that were behind the company, the energy guys that were behind it, I thought, unfortunately, they were ignorant. So it's a very different business.
And I think when we say ignorant, and I make that Rich and I always, we talk about it, like the word ignorant, a lot of people confuse it as if you're calling them like stupid, idiot, like.
No, they made a decision from that lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge, yeah.
Not stupidity, just lack of knowledge.
Like, trust me when I tell you, when Kevin wants you to know that you are stupid.
Oh, I'll say it. Yeah, I got no issue with saying you're stupid.
All right, so we'll get back to that. Okay,
I've been accused of being straight talker occasionally.
So in the specific conversation in terms of they continue to pay, I think it has a little bit of merit now that you and I are sitting in here, 2 individuals who, I've done considerably well. You've done much better than me in North American Power. And a lot of people were under the impression that, look at those guys, like they just took advantage of us. They built, they fed a pig and then they slaughtered it. And, like, can we talk about, like, no, bro, you getting it twisted. Like, I took the biggest hits for you so you don't have to. I did the most traveling for you so you don't have to. I spent my own money in many cases. I mean, I did this.
Yeah, they didn't reimburse me for travel and training and presentations.
Yep, the Spanish
or the rooms.
Spanish convention.
I paid for the rooms.
Oh, I already know. Spanish convention. I remember when I talked to Vanessa and John and all the, like, hey, I got Diego and Alejandra, like they're booming, like they
Mm.
want a Spanish convention. They want now, you know,
They're a great solid team. Good people.
100%. And
Yeah.
I was told now they just don't feel like it's ready to spend some time on a Spanish convention. I was like, hold my beer.
Right.
So I put $7,800 down, and let's just show our
And that
own.
wasn't little money.
And Carrie saw the day one on social media because it was day 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
And he literally took an overnight flight to make sure that he was there the next day. And he apologized right from stage, like, I'm sorry that I wasn't here for you guys. And I promise we're going to do better, et cetera, et cetera. Now, granted, looking backward, you know, 7 months later, there was no more coming back at all, you know, but I appreciated his gesture. The point that I'm trying to make, and I'm hoping that you can help me, there's a lot of people from that network that have done extremely well and gone to other companies, but they look at you and even me in some cases, and they're like, you are a hopper. You've built a network and just moved on and just left us behind, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Can we talk about the sacrifice that it actually took? Because year one, like first 8 months, I wasn't there when there was no network marketing before John came on board and introduced you. Can we talk about the sacrifice that had happened before?
That was brutal.
The money that you've put in that most of us didn't know about, the coding that you had to give up. Because when I came and I said, hey, man, I got rich and I want to give him a code of area director, you had to sign off on giving up your money.
Yes.
So that he can get paid higher payoff from the front. So I can have the volume.
So you don't lose.
So I don't lose.
Right.
So,
and we did that gladly because when Bobby D was obviously my partner.
Sure.
Phenomenal guy. Loved working with him. Just a hard worker. I mean, he was always saying that. He's like, all right, you got the stage, I got the behind the scenes. And we worked really well together that way. But we always felt that if we push the dollars to the leaders, putting more in their pocket up front faster, it would get them locked in faster.
And
it would
walking
get them
billboards,
focused faster.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So being greedy and trying to hold back coding, yeah, it would have made us a little bit more money initially, but down the road, we would have paid the price. So here's the thing. We looked at it as it was an investment for us.
Sure.
Into people.
And you guys were even, look, I'm going to be careful with what I'm going to say, but you were promised some things in the future of the company that never actually came into fruition. Because there's a lot of people who are under the impression that when that transaction happened with North American Power, you got a cut.
Oh, yeah, I
Bobby
wish.
D got cut, and many others got a cut.
Yeah, we wish.
So yeah, and again, we this is the very rare occurrence that we have cameras and microphones in front of us that we get to set the record straight. Let's fast forward a little bit. Vima comes into our lives.
Yep. BK, great guy.
Before we talk about when we went to Vima, and I'll never forget, January 6th. Why did it have to be January 6th? Boom, boom, January 6th of 2015 was the infamous day that I'll never forget. I ended up in Connecticut with you and everybody. We were just in your house and we're trying to figure out
where in the hell we're going to go.
What are we doing? You know? And, you know, I remember Armando's like, oh no, I got this, you know, insurance company, and this person, everybody's, you know,
we look at about 20 different companies.
And everybody's flying into different parts and whatnot.
Flying everywhere.
And then we came into the consensus of Vima. And what I appreciate, and I have to set the record straight, you could have gone just yourself, Bobby D, maybe the select few, cut a deal for yourself somewhere.
We were offered BDAs and half a dozen
and
companies.
if you can, BDA.
Business development agreement.
Which means there are side deals that nobody would know about.
Right, which basically throws a lot of money at you on a monthly basis for the next 6 to 12 months.
Correct.
And the largest BDA we were offered was $100K a month.
And here's what I appreciated. These gentlemen include me, not just me, Travis Whitaker, who never made it past a couple of $100 a month of earnings.
Yeah, good kid.
You know, many of the people who would never even dream
His
of being
mom
included.
was in the company too.
Yeah, Brenda Whitaker. And, I call him like, yo, 3 times commissions for the next 6 months. And if we perform, we get it another 6 months after that. They were shocked. They're like, you're, I'm in too? Yeah, Abelardo, you too. You too.
Yeah.
The whole team was included in this 3 times the commissions.
Right.
Let's just perform. That is something that is, and again, Car D'Argentiu, everybody.
Yeah.
Andre Deary, Valerie Alosio, shout out to all you guys. I love you. But everybody was hooked up.
Yeah.
And I share this to say, if anybody anywhere at any time could say anything about like, oh, you're getting your pocket fatter and you're moving on to somewhere else. No, record must be straightened up. And, that's something that I'm grateful for.
And even I'll do a shout out to Melton.
John and Nadia.
John and Nadia. So the funny part was John and Nadia worked with Brian McMullen, who's a good friend of mine for so long, so many years. And it was literally like, for me, it was kind of a blast from the past to start working with those guys again. Plus I knew BK, just one of the gentlemen from the industry and just a hard worker. I mean, he came from really just put just an amazing company together, amazing manufacturing facility together, and manufactured drinks for so many companies out there that you see on the shelves in convenience stores all over the place.
Do you think Vima will make a comeback?
They are.
First of all, from your vantage point, what went wrong at the time?
So a couple things. He ended up with bad timing. And his bad timing was there was an administration in office who was looking to make an example out of network marketing companies. They didn't like network marketing.
That was the chairwoman. I forgot her name.
Oh yeah, she was. They used to.
She went into the DSA and stood in front of everybody and said, "We're coming after you."
Corella DeVille was the nicest name they called her.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there was a lot of really, really bad ones. But so where Vima admittedly did some things wrong, what they deserved was a slap and possibly a fine. They weren't stealing money from people. Some of the marketing that they did, that the reps did,
it was
in college campuses.
Turning a blind eye.
Yes. Yeah. That's what the turning the blind eye is what cost them.
Yeah.
The other thing that cost them was the fact that he didn't charge. Like if you were a customer, so when you signed up, there was no cost to be a rep. So what people would do is they'd charge to be a customer and I want my auto shipped. And someone would go, oh, hey, just click that you want to be a rep too. This way, in case you refer somebody, you'll get a little bit of commission.
So there was no differentiator in documentation between what a customer or a representative was. So in paper, everybody was a representative and there were no customers.
You had about 90% representatives and 10% customers.
Which is an absolute no-no.
Right. But in reality, he was 80% customers and literally less than 20% were. So it was a
technicality issue versus an actual.
And it was because they had that check mark to allow the free, to allow the rep to be a free rep. And the regulatory agency knew it. They knew it. And they still screwed him on it. He went up against the FTC with a lot of different people, a lot of help. And he's one of a few companies that ever beat them in court. The problem is, in the meantime, they had put somebody in charge, they were in receivership, and that person utterly destroyed the company from the inside.
So
so he started over.
No, and which BK is legit. It takes some sweaty balls to start all over again after you go through that.
He lost a lot.
That was for you, Rich. That was for my boy Rich. Rich, ladies and gentlemen, Rich is usually on the other side of just snort, a lot of inside jokes in here. It's been a beautiful, fun day in the studio.
Those of you who are Tim Conway fans, you recognize Snort, the Siamese elephants.
So okay, so we go from North American Power, and it's like a big, huge shocker,
right?
Vulture season, everybody comes after
Oh
us.
my gosh.
Yeah, and then we go to Vima.
Some
August.
companies got really mad at us
Oh, of course.
for going there because they offered us so much money to
Oh,
come
I
there.
don't doubt it. I was called idiot by so many
Oh, yeah.
top earners. Like, you idiot. I'm like, okay, thank you.
We like the product, and I'm not a big product guy. I'm more services.
Yeah.
But I genuinely like the product at Vima, and they had just come out with that protein.
Sure.
The protein
Body.
drink was
the body shake.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
the body was awesome.
Yeah.
It was absolutely awesome. And so a lot of their healthy energy drinks and stuff like that, we really enjoyed them. And again, not a big product guy, but I enjoyed the products. I like BK. I love the guys we were working with there. And I said, hey, let's we actually kind of put it to a vote with a lot of the leaders.
No, I remember.
With North America. And we said, hey, listen, what do you guys want to do? We looked at all these ones, and so far we think
and Denny Faircloth, that was a slick move that he did. I love you, Denny. I know you're gonna watch this. I gotta say this, but Denny Faircloth is a great dude. He realized the decision was this close to be made, and he went and he signed out first before everybody, knowingly that everybody's coming forward. So shout out to Denny. Okay, after that, it seems like the band just broke up.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You have
we went from the frying pan from frying in the frying pan of North American Power to jumping out into the fire of
So Bob, Heilig, John, and Nadia kind of shoot in the more their realm of things. I'm like, I'm gonna just go do my own thing. I go to IDT and launch a brand new network marketing division of energy. You and Bobby D were kind of like figuring some things out, but not necessarily.
We play with crypto.
I remember, but you weren't really married publicly to anything. And everybody just went. But I would say everybody who was part of North American Power and even that Vima run either is Top Gun somewhere or has a very, very well-established experience that makes them attractive in the marketplace. And,
very much so.
Pretty dope to see that came out of that season. Some of the good things that I can reflect back on, Barbados was fun.
We had some crazy time. Cancun was fun. Barbados was fun.
It was phenomenal. Having the events that we've had and the dance parties every time we've had the King of Prussia events and casino nights and I do have to say, and this has got to be politically correct, you're not allowed to say this anymore, but there's an immigrant story that I have to share. You know where I'm going with this. So this is where my Mino English, I am still fresh off the boat, right? So Kevin is in King of Prussia. There's about 800 people, huge like auditorium. And Kevin,
that was our private event.
Oh yeah, thank God it was, because and thank God it was back then and not now, because it would have been a horrible situation. So Kevin goes, from stage, he's like, "Who here want to make stupid money?" And I have this bright idea. I am the hero. Kevin is going to love me. I stand in the middle of 800 people, and I'm like, "I want to make retarded money." I have never seen somebody from.
I cracked up.
I cracked up. He's like, no, we don't say that. We don't do that. I was like,
I'm gonna back that down a little.
Okay, I'm gonna sit down now. I don't know what just happened. Yeah.
But back then it was really funny because every now and then we would come up with colloquialisms or just different sayings. That you'd look at me, and I could always tell when you didn't get a set with one of the sayings I would say, and you'd look at me, you'd be like, "Me no English."
Me no English. That was the code. That was the code.
Explain to me what the hell you just meant by that.
Don't say something on me no English. Like I don't know what just happened, but
the funny part, and that's, when I met you back then, I gotta tell you, I was so freaking impressed. What was English? Your fifth language? Fourth, fifth?
Fourth at the time, yeah.
I'm sitting there going, all right, wait a second. You barely have an accent.
Yeah.
You do the me no English.
Brad Pitt, baby. Let's go.
The heaviest accent you had is when you said me no English.
Yes. And it got me out of so much trouble. So many times I said so many things, and you see somebody looking at you like, what the heck did you just say to me? I'm like, me? No, English? You switch real quick. My other favorite memory, but go ahead, finish your thoughts.
Go ahead.
My other favorite memory is Rhode Island. Was it Rhode Island? I'll give you the quote, and it's going to bring you right back to memory lane. This is porn in my country.
No, that was not Rhode Island.
What was that?
That was the story I was just going to share.
Okay, go for it.
So we're in Westport, Connecticut.
That's right.
Over my house. And there was a place called Mario's right across from the train station in Westport. Old place, been there 50 plus years.
You're going to want to give him that front camera because you want to hear this story.
Man, I'll tell you. So 50 plus years this place has been there. And they have the most incredible prime rib.
24 ounce?
It's so picture a dinner plate and this thing hung over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
And we go in there and I'm like, we want 6 of them. And they're like, we only have 4. I'm like, I'll skip it and make sure he gets one.
Yep.
And so we get all the dinners and stuff like that. The thing comes out, they put it down in front of Ali. He looks at it. His eyes are this big. And I went, are you okay? He looks down. He goes, where I come from, this is food porn.
Yep.
And I told him, I said, you don't have to eat the whole thing.
I ate the whole thing.
He goes, yes, I do.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm doing this for my village I grew up in.
It was amazing. It was phenomenal. And it was the first time I seen a steak that big. And look, some people be like, dude, really? Yes. I mean.
And those of you who know
what sides too.
It was a monster one and it was an end cut.
So it was
extra thick.
Was it like a 24 ounce or?
Oh, it was huge.
It was whatever, something. It was big.
So it's what it normally is, but as an end cut. So it was actually even bigger. So they gave you the monster piece.
Dude, we've had a blast. I loved it. I loved it every time. All right, let's do this. We're gonna take a little break. Get some. Let's pay some bills. And then after we come back, we're gonna dive a little bit into what happened after that whole breakup of the band and who we've become. And we got some fun stories from there as well. We'll be right back.
Power your home with clean, renewable energy? Imagine a future where your electricity bills are significantly reduced and you're making a positive impact on the environment. Welcome to the world of solar energy. Solar power harnesses the limitless energy of the sun to generate electricity. It's a sustainable and eco-friendly solution that not only benefits you, but also the planet. One of the key advantages of going solar is the immediate impact on your monthly expenses. Say goodbye to soaring electricity bills and hello to substantial savings. Going solar requires zero out-of-pocket expenses for you. Instead of paying a never-ending high utility bill, you can now pay a lower solar bill that has an end date. With various financial incentives, tax credits, and rebates available, the transition to solar is a no-brainer. Our team of experienced professionals is here to guide you through the process. We'll assess your energy needs, customize a solar solution for your home, and ensure a seamless installation. Solar panels are built to last, with minimal maintenance required. We monitor the system for you, so if there is an issue, we will most likely catch it before you do. Along with our 25-year guarantee, if your panels underproduce what we contractually said they would, we will cut you a check for the difference. Imagine never having to worry about your electricity going out ever again. Solar-powered homes with blackout protection not only keep your family safe, but also increase the value of your home. Let's recap. Going solar saves you money, makes you money, increases the value of your home, and protects your family from rolling blackouts. Deciding to go solar has never been easier. Join the solar revolution and be a part of a sustainable future. Contact us today to schedule a consultation and take the first step towards powering your home with the sun. Let's make a positive impact together.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Ali Madawi here, back in the ME show, and we have Kevin Marino in the building. Kevin Marino, that some of you know from Connecticut. Kevin Marino, some of you know from Florida now. Kevin Marino, that some of you know from St. Martin. Kevin Marino, the traveler, the baseball or softball player. You name it. Kevin Marino is many things to many people. I do know that at a period, and this is where the transition started happening for all of us. I know for me, 2015, 2016, I started to change, and whether you want to call it maturing up or becoming independent with my thinking instead of just following the crowd and following the leaders and so on and so forth. There were a lot of us that started kind of bumping heads with the way we operate or not seeing eye to eye. And in my case specifically, and especially, I do well with a company for the first time by myself without my heroes, without Bob Doran and Kevin Marino and Bob Heilig. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm making it happen. Like I am the guy. In 180,000 customers later, everything's going good. It's still till this day a $1.6 billion company. And then they burn us. And it pissed me off. Like, it's like, man, I was like, again? Like, how am I here? And that was for the first time that I said, I'm not doing anything with anybody anymore. And I kind of started going into the coaching, and I wouldn't call it bitterness, but it became this perception for me.
That's what we call chip on the shoulder.
Yeah. It's like the blame game while victimizing myself while I'm playing an avatar role. And, on camera, I'm like, I'm a hero and I got to figure it out by myself. But at the same exact time, off camera, I'll see you on social media. I'll see Bob Heilig. I'll see John and Nadia. And I'm like, they're where they are off of my back. I was part of your downline. I was part of your organization. And, I made you fat money and blah, but I didn't. It was just my justification for my own bad decisions. Right. And I believe that many people operate that way. What happened, and what was there any experience for you from your vantage point that you had that again moments that you had that freaking helped everybody and set everybody up, and here I am having to start all over again many times over? Talk to me about that.
So that's got to be the most frustrating thing, because there's a couple times we figured we made pretty good decisions.
Yeah.
With the energy company, obviously it was experienced energy people. They knew what they were doing. We got good rates, we got good pricing, and we built a monster company pretty quickly. I mean, it's a 4.5 year run. So I mean, we built that we built that
to
fast.
400 million almost.
We did a lot. So out of there into the fire, as I say, with Vima, which was a $250 million company. I mean, these guys kicked butt. They rocked. They were 25 million a month. I mean, they really had it together. They did good stuff. Out of that fire, we toyed with crypto. Didn't really, I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I grew up, but I was trying to figure it out. And we came across something, and I got talked into it, because literally that's what happened. I got talked into being part of corporate and starting a company and being the CEO of a company. And it was fun and it sucked all at the same time. It was fun to see, can I do this? Where it sucked was, me, I was a trainer. I love training. I like presenting. I like doing all that stuff. That was the fun part of it. But when you're now part of corp and you're the CEO, you can't do that. Because if you do that, the leaders in your company get upset. Why is he doing a training? Why is the CEO doing a training? He doesn't trust us to do it. Why am I a leader at this company if he doesn't trust us to do this training? So that's what we were running into. So I backed off of that, and I got out of my training mode. So I backed off. And so the funny part is I was still selling books at that time. So I'd written a book, Shut Up and Text.
I remember.
Which did really well, because that's actually how we built a lot of North American.
I remember that was a whole system that turned into a book. Yeah.
It worked. Yes. We started off as a system, kept it going. When it worked, talking to Tom Schreider, Big Al, as people know him out there, great guy, one of my most favorite people in the world. Looked, and I told him, I said, hey, help me write the book. He looked at me, he goes, write it your damn self. And I said, I don't know how. He goes, I'll tell you how. And he gave me the whole thing and told me exactly how to write the book. And I did it. And it was really kind of cool. And I still get people to this day going, hey, I just bought a case of books. because I went to a new
No,
company
I remember,
and they want to hand it out. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. So again, I had to walk away from that now as CEO as well. So I really backing into CEO.
Like, and the whole identity changes over and over and
dude,
over.
I felt like I was being put in a corner.
And nobody puts baby in
But I mean, here I am. I'm the trainer. I'm the stage guy. I'm the presenter. And all of a sudden now I'm being put in a corner.
Yeah.
It was frustrating to me. But in a year and a half, we built a company. We did proximity marketing. We were cranking. I mean, we were just shy of 50,000 customers. I mean, we were really rocking it. And then Google started screwing with us more and more. They started screwing with us. And, oh, did I say their name out loud? I'm sorry. But they did. They started messing with the platform and making it more difficult and more difficult and more difficult for the people. There was a lot of companies that were in proximity marketing, and we became one of the biggest in 18 months, if not the biggest. I don't know if we were the big, but we were damn close. I do the moment. We're the biggest. We're the best. Sometimes you got to throw one of those in.
I mean, look,
they came at us bigly. What do you want?
Bigly,
me to do?
you know.
Bigly.
Was it the ping ping thing?
A bing bang. Yeah. But with less than 30 days notice, they turned off the platform and put every single proximity marketing company out of business.
Out of business, yeah.
Overnight.
Yeah, it's
so we went from kicking butt, just growing, helping people. Because again, people look at me like, "Oh, you were making a fortune." I lost everything during that period of time. Absolutely everything.
So while everybody's in the impression that you're because perception, right?
Yeah,
perception. Social media is a son of a
Yeah.
Social media makes
and that 800-pound gorilla cost me everything.
You take I remember sending people see you in St. Mark traveling, it's your favorite spot. Unfortunately, got destroyed by the hurricane. I remember that one year, and the perception is, look at him. He's still eating out of our back. Like I hear it.
Yeah,
I guarantee you. Remember, I guarantee you, this interview is gonna be airing and it's gonna go out, and content is gonna go out there. I'm gonna be like, what are you doing with him? But right.
It might be an eye opener to a couple people who watch it.
Well, I hope that everybody gets to hear from beginning to end, because again, you're sitting across from a guy that had a look. I thank God for therapy. I had therapy for the last 2 years. You know that, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah, almost a year and a half of therapy out of the last 2 years, working on a lot. I had the biggest challenge that I had. I don't know if I want to call it a challenge, but the symptom that was identified is daddy issues. I've never had that father figure. Dad left early, and I went from father, mom to mom alone to dad and stepmom to back to mom and stepdad, and it was just never that. Until this day, it's still a struggle sometimes. And I was always looking for, like, I would see you and be like, oh, this is the guy that's filling that void. Subconsciously, I'm not even realizing it, right? The Carrie Breitbarts of the world. I'm like, oh, I have found him. He's the guy, Jimmy Zell, love him to death, brother from another mother. He's filling that gap, right? And it turns up the naivete where it's okay if we don't have a contract. It's okay if you're not paying me. It's okay if you don't, and I'm just, you want me to be the face of the company while you're doing shady business behind the scene that I don't know anything about and I'm not going to ask about? Yeah, sure. Knowing, it was a lot of that.
Right.
And again, thank God for therapy that I got to, come back to me. But it got to a point that disappointment from the corporate executives of the network marketing companies was a triggering factor, where I started to get pissed off at every single person in that big brother or fatherly figure. And you were one of those individuals. Trump. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Did I say Trump? Okay, hold on. Wait for the comments.
Yeah. Go to the comment section.
Just wait for it.
Yeah, the comment section will be fun.
Right now, so.
Get your popcorn, right?
The popcorn section.
So-
The popcorn section.
So
the comment section will have a lot of popcorn right now.
the 2016 political season, you've become more vocal, and you've always been, it's not a surprise. Everybody knew your views on what it means to be an American, and you were very vocal about it, right? And Trump kind of amplified that,
Yeah.
and you absolutely were very, not just vocal, but you were not shying away from
The argument.
well, I wouldn't. It's argument, but I think now looking back, you're trying to educate from your point of view. Like, hey, I get what you're saying. However, right?
Right.
And I'll never forget it, bro. It was a comment from Trevor. It was a Trevor Noah talking about how the French team was celebrating, the World Cup, but 20 out of the 22 players of the national team in that World Cup were born, raised African. They
Right.
were just given citizenship, right? And then people are talking about African heritage and this and that. And somewhere, somehow, you were in the middle. There was just a conversation. You were just kind of conversating with people. And in my mind, here's what I see. The F is Kevin Marino doing talking in the middle of an African heritage conversation? And I went like, whoop. He likes Trump. Trump said Mexicans are rapists. Trump's this, Trump's that. No, for real.
But meanwhile, I was defending them because if they were citizens of that country, they have every single right to play on that national
And
team.
I am who do you think you are to speak on behalf of my African heritage? But it had nothing to do with that.
Right.
I
You were
can-
just mad at me for some reason.
I can give a shit who won the World Cup that year. Like that's looking back now. Like,
Right.
bruh, what do you care, Ali? Right? But it was no, but it was the subconscious disappointment that once in my life, this young kid saw you as that he's the one, right?
Mhm.
Like my white knight, the one, the promised one to fulfill the void that I had. And then he wasn't. And then let's try Vima. And then he wasn't.
Right.
And then let's try the proximity marketing. And then he wasn't. And it was just this so it became this you know what? I'm going to stand up to Big Brother. You think you're and I just, and it wasn't only you. I called him racist. I did. And people probably talked to him. They're like, yo, Ali's got some beef going on. So Kevin sends me a message like, hey, man, everything good? I'm like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, let's go. He's like, I don't know. Somebody just said you're calling me a racist. And I'm like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I don't even remember what I said, but I came up with this big, huge, long, civil rights movement message, And his response was, last I checked, I drove 8 hours to come to your wife's baby shower for your kid, and we traveled, and I don't know anybody who would be racist and do all of that. And I was so mad I didn't want to hear it. And I think there's a lot of people who have their own version of daddy issues or whatever issues in life, and you take the bullet for it.
Oh, for a number of people,
and still till this day. And I'll tell you.
And in all fairness, a number of them have reached out, or I've reached out to them and say, hey, what's going on? Like I did with you. It's like, if you have an issue or somebody said something, do me a favor, call me and ask me if I said it. More times I heard you said. Well, do me a favor. If anybody ever says something like that, I would say, just call me.
That whole phone.
Right. And it's really funny because Bobby D knows me extremely well. My buddy, Scott, who I've done a lot of business with, knows me extremely well. We've done all the bars and restaurants and some other different stuff together. And every now and then someone would call him up, or someone that was working for us, say, Kevin said, blah, 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 blah. And he'd look at me and go, no, he didn't. He's known me long enough
to know if you would say something.
He knows what comes out of my mouth. He knows it's not always nice.
Yeah.
But when something comes out and it doesn't make sense, he would look at that person and go, no, he didn't say that. And then he'd call me, be like, hey, so-and-so said I didn't say. I'm like, I didn't say that. He goes, yeah, I know. I told him you didn't say that.
Yeah.
So what I find people miss sometimes is context.
I definitely was missing context. I saw one comment and flipped the fuck out.
But here's the thing, that happens. It's even worse when you get on a political stage.
Yeah.
Someone can speak for 2 hours and they'll take a 13-second clip, nothing before it, nothing after it, and throw it out there as, oh my God, look what this person said. Or some of them actually do it worse. They take a 25-second, they take words out of the middle of it.
Oh, I've experienced that too.
And then they put it out. And that, there's times where my whole thing is, whether it's political or whether it's personal, it's easier just to have the truthful conversation. Because if you decide, hey, I don't like you for the truth of what we spoke about, you know what? I don't like you. I don't respect you anymore. I don't want to work with you. I'm okay with that. Because I have my opinions, you have yours. That's fine. But what I find, not offensive, what I find
absurd,
sad, and disappointing is when somebody makes a decision when they didn't have the full story. And too many times, some of the people that I worked my ass off for, who I literally handed stuff to, people I took on vacation with me, because they didn't have enough funds, but they were friends of mine, and I dragged them on vacation. All of a sudden, have an issue with me that, is in their freaking head. And that is disappointing to me, because I feel like I've paid my dues, so to speak. And I mean, you talk about coding and other stuff that we've done. I mean, if you look at North American Power, we recruited in excess of 300 people into that business. We had 5 lines of business.
No, I remember. Put it like
Think
this.
about that for a second.
No. I know what you mean. Here's because you fed it everywhere else. Yeah. What I do know is, and you could build more than 5 legs. You
could build as many as you want. Yeah.
What I do, the only thing, like in North American Power, some of the best months that I've had, 20, 30K.
Nice.
Yeah. But then you got to think about how much of that would have been possible had you not given up coding.
Right.
Had you not given up certain individuals that ended up wherever they ended up, so that, again, I love it when Tony Robbins says it, but he's like, if you're going to blame fully. He's like,
right.
He's like, you want to blame your,
I like Tony.
Yeah. He was like, you want to blame your dad for not being there? Well, also blame him for the reason that you're here. Also blame him for the 2 out of the last 18 years that he was there just to make sure that you were okay and had, diapers. Like, blame fully. Don't just select the part that you want to blame, because you're blaming 1 or 2 different circumstances, which, guess what? He may be an asshole. He deserves it. He's a horrible human being. But he also was a good person at some point, in some form, in some capacity. So don't be selective.
It's also his fault that you're here.
Yeah, that's what it said. Is there anything that you look back at for you personally to say, here is where I'm holding myself accountable for what went wrong or could have gone wrong? Is there anything that you'd say, if I could do something different, or had I switch it back, here's what I would have done, or here's what I would like to acknowledge that I didn't do right?
Not necessarily with North American or Vima. I think those were played pretty straight up, and those hit us out of left field. There's nothing that could have done out of there. With the proximity marketing, my only regret there is that I didn't shut it down 10 months earlier. Because if I shut it down 10 months earlier, I wouldn't have lost everything. And that was when Google really, did I say them again? That's when the gorilla really started screwing with us and cost us money to fix it, everything. As they always say, everything, you can always fix the problem. It just takes money. And if I shut it down 10 months earlier, it would have pissed off a lot of people. But guess what? Those people ended up pissed off anyway. And then I lost everything. So it didn't really do anybody any good. It was 10 months of frustration at the end, only to lead to utter destruction for everybody involved. And that was the only thing that I look back, and I've discussed it with the guys, and I said, this is where I made a mistake.
Where do you feel, if there's anything that you feel like people misunderstand about you, what would you state that would be?
That they misunderstand?
Yeah.
Sometimes people look at criticism as me being harsh or me being an asshole. And people don't take criticism well. And people criticize me for different things, and I try to listen to it. Most of the time, I'll include myself into this, we always try to knock the criticism down or nullify it before it finishes coming out of the person's mouth, as opposed to listening to it, taking it in, digesting it, and then say, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. This is the way I see it. This is what I meant by that. So there's times where people have been like, oh my God, you were so mean. You yelled at me. You did. And I look at people like, I didn't yell at you. You did this. And I said, hey, next time, would you do me a favor and do it this way? Sometimes people take that just because I didn't say it with a smile on my face. They took it as I was yelling at them, when all I was trying to do is try to make it better for the next time through. And that I find, there's times where I could say stuff in a softer way, but the people who know me don't expect me to say it in a softer way.
I grabbed my phone, and I was like, I wonder if I have the message that I send. Do you mind if I read it out loud? Because I want to make some things right. Because look, I'm a human being like everybody else, and I have emotions, and sometimes emotions get us in the biggest trouble.
Yes, it does.
Most of our troubles is based on how we feel, right? Here's my message to I don't know where that came from, but all right. Here's my message. Kevin, you're a bully who's blind to the truth others may be living in, who lacks empathy for others simply for his own version of reality. Fox News mouthpiece. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? Where no matter how others are being hurt, you only want to see how does it impact me. You say things that are your point of view, which the world respects, but attack anyone on theirs. So dumb. You don't even realize most of the offensive things you say. But again, I know you don't like to be told that you're wrong or to be called out. So I stand down and I will say, you may be right, and I'm just going to move on. So the reason I wanted to read this, words can be freaking brutal. I don't care how tough of a guy that you can be. Words can hurt. So I just want to apologize to you as a man.
I
know I've said it before, but I want
appreciate
you to
that. And you know what? I think I kind of shocked you when you called me.
Yeah. It was like, hey, what's up? We're all good.
So it was funny. You called me and you're like, oh, dude. And this was a couple years ago.
I'll tell you what it was. Jimmy Izell calls me and he's like, hey, you good with Kevin? I was like, Marino?
Oh, yeah, I talked to Jimmy. And he said, oh, you need to talk to Ali. I'm like,
I don't know if Ali wants to talk to me.
I said, listen, I love Ali. I really do. But I don't think he wants to talk to me.
The funny thing is at this time that you're talking to Jimmy and I are like so in alignment with, like, my mindset starts to like, I've been on the wrong this whole time. I got a kid. I started to realize I have conservative values, and you don't want to go backwards and be like, that's my tail. It's between my legs. How are you? So it was a good opportunity, to try to make, because sometimes we want to right or wrong, but we don't have the sweaty balls to that. I better use that a lot. We don't have them to pick up the phone and be like, yo, I messed up. Can we fix it? Right. And I think.
But you did that.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
But you called me and said, listen, some stuff has happened. I apologize. I think you were right on a lot of stuff. I'd like to have more conversations with you, and I hope that we can work together going forward. And I remember saying,
we're all good,
dude, we're all good.
Yep.
Because I had zero animosity toward you.
No.
Because I always respected how you went about working. I never lashed out against you because I had zero against you. And I always say, people are always entitled to their opinion, as wrong as they may be.
Yeah.
They're entitled to it. And you know what? I figured eventually we'd come back together and do some work. But you know what? Not many people have the balls to pick up the phone.
Sweaty balls.
The sweaty balls to pick up the phone and make that call.
Yeah. Look, here's my message to anybody that is out there. I don't care how wrong or right you think you are. It takes two to create a circumstance.
Yeah.
Period. And I think if, again, regardless of how wrong or right you and I were or would be, I played a part in the circumstance. In the fact that one of us just picks up the phone and says, "Hey, sup?" It will dissolve 90% of any issues.
Without a doubt.
And life is too precious. I know people say it's too short, but life is too precious. Jason Lee, beginning of this year, unfortunately passed, 46 years old, went to sleep. He got a clean sheet, like a bill of right from the doctor 3 days prior, according to his wife. He was told, like, you're good, you're clean, you're healthy. He's running marathons. He quit smoking 3 years prior. Like, he is the best. Went to sleep, never woke up.
Unbelievable.
Our friend Cal, Kapesh Bahat, we love you, brother. You're in our prayers right now. He's in Mom's Medical Hospital right now. And went out with his family Sunday night. He drank, partied, posted stories, loving life, went to sleep. He's having machines in his brain and no neurological movement at all. He's been asleep. So I say this just to say, life is too precious for us to be angry at one another. And 99% of our issues are feelings. Yeah. I felt some type of way. You didn't do anything. You felt some type of way, and I don't care who you are that's out there. Like, some people are going to watch this right now and they're going to feel some type of way. It's your feelings. And guess what? Feelings are perception.
Yes.
They're just perception. They are not real. It's what you perceive it to be a reality. And look, I respect and love everybody for their realities and wherever you are. But I hope more.
We were talking about a movie earlier.
Which one?
What is a Woman?
Oh yeah. Matt Walsh, new documentary. What is a Woman?
What is a woman? Matt
Walsh,
you did a phenomenal job on that. And he went around speaking to people, and they answered with pure emotion.
Not with logic or fact.
Zero logic.
No.
Zero logic. No. Zero fact. And you watch that, and there's unfortunately people out there that are completely unhinged. And if I get into trouble with anything, like on a regular basis, is for using logic and backing it up with science. Oh, I get in trouble big time for that. People hate it.
The world is so crazy right now that no one, I let my kids go out, but it's like within a Windows radius. Like, I gotta be able to see you from this end to that end, but you can play, right?
But think about growing up years ago. The crazy thing, and there's some comedians, Brad Alton, I think his name is. He does a great piece on it. When we grew up, if a friend had a malady, that was his nickname. We picked on each other because it was fun. We picked on each other out of love. We weren't being mean to people. I mean,
No. I know exactly what you mean. It was our nickname, like, look.
You broke your right arm. You were called Lefty.
I'll have to.
It's what it was.
I have to show you pictures of me when I was. So it was the buzz, right? Like, everybody did the Tyson haircut, where I grew up, and everybody would call me Steve Urkel.
I was just gonna say they call you Urkel because you had the glasses.
Pissed me off.
I was gonna ask about Urkel.
But as much as it pissed me off, it was the happiest moment of the day, because wherever I go, Ali, do it. No, do it. do you know it? And I mean, it was the thing that I had to do all the time, and everybody loved it. It was my moment of fame, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think our children.
Did I do that?
Did I do that? Our children would be like they missed
Yeah.
on the pleasure of
You
humanity.
can't pick on anybody
of
anymore.
no wonder everybody's getting sick. You're always stuck. You know, I mean, Sebastian had a genuinely honest conversation with us 2 days ago. He's sitting down and, you know, we're kind of giggling in his face thinking that he's being overreactive. And then we realize he's crying. He goes like, Papa, I feel like I'm stuck in a box. He goes like, every time I say, can I go outside? You're like, no, wait until somebody's with you. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do this. Like, I can never play. I don't even feel like I have freedom. And again, we're laughing and he's getting mad that we are laughing. I was like, oh crap. He's like, all you do is meetings, shush here, shush there, webinars, Zoom, meetings. And every time I say, can I do something? I have to wait for you. But guess what? You're never here. Oh, dude,
Yeah, I was gonna say you
know,
feel that.
Oh, I sure did. So the next day, Sebastian, do you want to go out? Like, by myself? Like, yeah, go out. Now, she's gonna get so mad. We let him go by himself. Walk, son. Go ahead, do your thing. But I want to show you. Here's how my wife was.
There you go. I guarantee.
Can I get that? This is my wife for 20 minutes.
But you know what? That's a good mom. That's you're giving him some freedom to do his thing.
Yes.
But you're keeping an eye on him because unfortunately there's too many freaks out there.
Trust but verify. Yeah, 100%.
Too many freaks.
But I'll tell you the second thing that children got robbed. But I'll tell you what second thing children got robbed out of. So the devices. Thank God my son right now has a tablet in his hand. He gets it Friday night and then he gives it back Sunday morning. He's allowed on the weekend. We don't deprive him. He plays with his cousins. He does his thing, right? And he asked for a cell phone. The challenge of these kids watching, comparing themselves to other children, right? Like I know myself. When I was, 5-6 years ago, I look at Kevin, I'm like, he's in St. Mark. He's probably rich. Man, I'm not doing anything with my life. Right? But and that's a grown ass man. So imagine now that you have a child, a girl or a boy looking at other children and thinking, they're too pretty, I'm ugly. And then getting the hateful comments on all
bullying
that stuff. Yeah,
that takes place on social media with teenagers.
Yeah.
Kids suck.
Well, it's not allowed. Some things are not allowed in school in Europe.
We were kids, and I know growing up, we did
some messed up stuff.
We did some messed up stuff. I mean, there was some stuff that was not nice, and you look back and you go, "Oh, every kid did." Yeah, but I was part of it.
Yeah,
I went with the crowd at times, and there was times where, as I got older, I started stepping back. I know that's not right.
Yeah,
and I had other friends that started to do that too. Thankfully, before even going to college, we started to actually grow up.
Yeah.
But when you see some of what's done to kids today, they put the head on naked pictures and text,
I already know.
And text it.
I told you earlier about AI.
Throughout the whole school and stuff like that.
I can use your face and put an AI script on you right now saying whatever I want you to say. Yeah, it's pretty scary stuff.
It's really scary.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. Number one, I'm glad there was no cell phones around where I grew up, because all the stupid shit we did would have been recorded.
Yeah, you guys had
we would have been stupid.
You guys had the little,
we had the cup with the string. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Polaroid cameras.
Dude, beepers didn't come out until until after I was out of college.
Let me ask you a question from your vantage point. And look, you are a realist. You see things for what they are. But at the same exact time, you are an optimistic, positive human being. You see the good in things and you're visionary. You see like, hey, we're going to be okay. Are we going to be okay from the way you're looking at it right now, where things are right now? From a 5,000 foot view, obviously we can go in variables, but worried about.
So you talking about the country?
I'm talking about our country and our future. Yeah.
So I'm worried about our country right now. I am. And there's run to the comment section, because there's going to be people that say, you don't know what you're talking about. I do know what I'm talking about, because I've taken an interest. And when I go to bed at night, there's times where I will be up for hours reading and reading and reading, going to sites, looking at the charts. So when we went through COVID, I knew every stat of every state, of every age group, of everything. I knew every single stat. I knew it. I knew the COVID compared to the flu, compared to it. I studied it. Why did I study it? Because I wanted to know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be fed bullshit by talking heads and then just run around repeating it. I never want to be that person. So what's happened over the last few years, and when you look at people today who will argue that millions of people didn't come over our southern border, it's like you have to be willfully ignorant to not understand that. And you have to be willfully ignorant not to understand how much damage that does to our country. From veterans, it strips resources from people who need it. It strips resources from homeless. It strips resources from single moms who need those resources to raise their children. It strips resources from the handicapped. It strips resources from the American citizens who freaking need it. We just got told the other day that there probably isn't enough resources within FEMA to finish dealing with what Helene just did to us. And if we get another hurricane, we're probably screwed because there's no more money and they're going to have to.
So how is it justified to send money to Ukraine while there is no money for?
Got me. How is it justified that you kept that war going when there was a ceasefire and a ceasefire on the table 2.5 years ago? It was ridiculous. How is it justified that Israel gets attacked? Do you realize the amount of people that died in Israel as a percentage would have been the equivalent of about 38,000 people getting killed on 9/11 here? Think about that number. Think about it as a percentage. That blows your mind. And then you have people going, oh, no, you have to do a small response to that. Did we do a small response? Hell no, we went and blew up a few countries. But meanwhile, they're being told. There's the reaction of some people. I mean, people can argue about Trump all he wants. We started no new wars. We ended stuff. There was Abraham Peace Accords was bringing more and more peace to the Middle East under him. He was working like hell on the border. He didn't get it done. Obviously, Mexico didn't write the check.
Name one politician who got everything done on their bucket list.
Nobody.
Yeah.
But he was fighting an uphill battle the whole way, which we all know. But he knew that going in. And what people also don't understand, this isn't a guy that came in with very little money and left a multi-hundred millionaire.
Yeah, Obama was worth $300,000 when he came in. He's worth $250 million right now.
How does that work? Meanwhile, Trump's worth whatever he is. He's worth less now.
He's less, yeah. I mean, my favorite is Pelosi. Pelosi made $87,000 a year.
Yeah.
But throughout
she's
her
more
career,
now. It's up to like 150.
Throughout her career, she was worth $200 million.
Right. Well,
but she only made $87,000.
She does really good on trading.
So I gotta tell you about an app.
Buying stock.
There's an app called Autopilot, and they copy whatever the politicians are doing. Literally,
you copy trade.
It's a copy trader.
That's awesome.
And they copy it. Literally, how you select a portfolio.
Yeah.
You select Nancy Pelosi's, and it copies exactly what Nancy Pelosi has right now. That's JD Vance. You select JD Vance, all his because they have to publicize all that.
Yeah, and they're they give it to a blind whatever. Yeah, okay. They couldn't come out of it with look at.
Politicians don't lie.
Hey, I'll pick on the bartender. She came in and was whining about the fact that she had to have an apartment in DC because she couldn't afford it.
I remember. And
now
she
she's
couldn't
worth
afford-
tens of millions of dollars. Meanwhile, she's made $29,000 for each of the last
That was from a
4
book.
years. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, we're gonna take a break because we're talking about the green initiative with AOC. We're gonna come back. When we do come back, I want to dive into your new project, the most exciting that you've ever put forward, and how we're gonna help make networking
paradigm
green
shift?
again. A paradigm shift.
Paradigm shift.
Get ready. We're about to make networking great again. We'll be right back with Kevin Marino.
Power your home with clean, renewable energy? Imagine a future where your electricity bills are significantly reduced and you're making a positive impact on the environment. Welcome to the world of solar energy. Solar power harnesses the limitless energy of the sun to generate electricity. It's a sustainable and eco-friendly solution that not only benefits you, but also the planet. One of the key advantages of going solar is the immediate impact on your monthly expenses. Say goodbye to soaring electricity bills and hello to substantial savings. Going solar requires zero out-of-pocket expenses for you. Instead of paying a never-ending high utility bill, you can now pay a lower solar bill that has an end date. With various financial incentives, tax credits, and rebates available, the transition to solar is a no-brainer. Our team of experienced professionals is here to guide you through the process. We'll assess your energy needs, customize a solar solution for your home, and ensure a seamless installation. Solar panels are built to last, with minimal maintenance required. We monitor the system for you, so if there is an issue, we will most likely catch it before you do. Along with our 25-year guarantee, if your panels underproduce what we contractually said they would, we will cut you a check for the difference. Imagine never having to worry about your electricity going out ever again. Solar-powered homes with blackout protection not only keep your family safe, but also increase the value of your home. Let's recap. Going solar saves you money, makes you money, increases the value of your home, and protects your family from rolling blackouts. Deciding to go solar has never been easier. Join the solar revolution and be a part of a sustainable future. Contact us today to schedule a consultation and take the first step towards powering your home with the sun. Let's make a positive impact together.
Welcome back. Ali Midawi here with the ME Show, and we're back with Kevin Marino. Man, oh man, I feel like we've went through memory lane. We broke it all down from top to bottom on everything over the last couple of years. And again, I'm very grateful that you've graced us with your presence here today. All right, I want to dive into, you have a major announcement that you are changing parties. You're from now on going to be Democratic. And I had to do that. Okay, let's talk about your new project.
Okay.
Over the years, you're not the one who shies from learning and trying different things, but you have a different demeanor about what you have now. Meaning, your confidence level is like the Kevin that I know. Like you're like, hey, this is actually it, and this is going to help a lot of people. One of the things that I loved about, we chopped it up earlier this morning, and we talked about your business card. You were like, look, whether you do business with us as a customer or whether you do a business with us as a sales representative, you are going to make money. Yeah, we can show that one way or another. If you want to show this one way or another, you're gonna get this. So this is the card that this could be yours. Ask me how, and of course his information is in the back. Yeah, that's right. I just put his phone number out there. Yeah. So in the conversation was one way or the other. You can tell me I don't want to do any business with you. Mm-hmm. Cool. Take advantage, and I'm gonna put money back in your pocket.
Right.
So let's talk about just a brief, if we could, all things solar. Why now? Mm-hmm. And then I'd like to dive into some follow-up questions that I find fascinating and intriguing. So why now to kind of jump into solar?
So we did a run at solar about 10 years ago. Well, not quite 10, 8 years ago. And it was like, you ever see Wile E. Coyote rolling the boulder uphill and it rolls back on him? Mm-hmm. That was kind of us. We were not the leading edge. We were the bleeding edge. So it didn't really work. This is a nice way to say we got crushed. And so I got to the point where I said, okay, I need to go out and I really need to attack this. Came out of COVID. I was still down. I talked to you about that. For me, it was COVID was brutal in that I'm a social person. I like getting out, mixing it up with people. I like traveling. I really couldn't do any of that, and that was difficult on me. I probably should have gone to therapy. So I probably should have.
Recommend it to everybody, brother.
So I decided, hey, let's look into this. So I started looking into what network marketing company I want, because again, I'm the trainer, I'm the presenter. Let's get into the network marketing company. Let's figure it out. And I started toying with a couple of them, seeing what I want to do, and I wasn't feeling it. And then it hit me. I don't want to build another team of tens of thousands of people only to have 85% not make any money. And a small percentage make some decent money. Some people make, and then a few percentage really kind of kill it. I wanted something where if I brought somebody to the table, that person makes money on either one sale, or if they suck at selling and they don't ever want to sell, and you got a lot of people like that. I would argue that they probably could sell no problem, but they're afraid. For some reason, they don't want to. All they had to do was refer somebody, and they could make money. So we went from 80%, 85% never making money to any individual. You come into the business today, make a referral anytime within the next 2 years, and you're positive cash flow. Now, if you can't make a referral, and here's the referral. The referral is, especially like let me pick on the Northeast for a second. The referral is in the Northeast, you're paying typically anywhere between 26 and 34 cents a kilowatt all in on your, if you look at your electric bill.
Yep.
It's highway robbery. It's gone up 50% about since 2019. Last 5 years, you're talking.
And that was, and we were complaining back then that it was a lot.
Correct. Back in the day, we were like, oh my God. So, but what people have seen go up is not the supply that we always could show them how to save money on. It's the delivery. And we all know once the delivery goes up, it never comes down. I mean, in Connecticut, the delivery is 16 cents, which is insane. And, so once you wrap everything else into it, you get the taxes in, you get this in, you get the supply in, all of a sudden they're 26 to 34 cents. It's highway robbery. Solar isn't a sale anymore. I go sit down with you. You give me your bill. We plug it into the computer. I sit down and say, this is how much we can save you. The last person I was dealing with yesterday, I sat with our good buddy, Michael D'Angelo. I mean, you haven't seen Michael. I told him I was coming to see you. He's like, oh my God, tell Ali I said hi. And sitting with him, again, with another old friend. And we started talking, going through it. And at first, she was like, the only objection I have is I don't want it on my roof. I don't think it's going to look nice. We sat there, laid it out for her, showed her that it was going to take her from 34 cents per kilowatt to 16 and a half.
And then you quantify that.
And then she's like, oh my God. And it was like, that's $250 a month to her. Then we laid it out over the next 25 years. You're looking at approximately $135,000 plus worth of savings.
And that's without the value that's added above and beyond on the roof.
That's
and
correct.
House and
correct. That's without adding the $5,000 to $6,000 per kW. So that hers is about a $50,000 to $60,000 add to her property value.
So is that the exception, or is that pretty? And I'm talking from a percentage of ROI. Is that a norm, or
in the Northeast? That's a norm.
Yeah,
because there's so much. Because they've gone crazy with the rates up there, it's great. So I'm also down in Florida now. I look at it, I'm like, geez, I left Connecticut at the wrong damn time. Here I'm down in Florida. But the same thing is happening down there, but they started at a lower rate. So they were 7 to 10 cents all in, they're now 16, 17. They're freaking out down there.
Yeah.
On what their rates are doing. So we're starting to really sell down there because they already see what's happening with the rates. They see what's happening in the Northeast going, we don't want to take a chance of getting up there. We want to lock in. Think about if you could have locked in your gasoline rates back in the 90s and you could have been locked in at $1.25. You'd been like, yeah. But that's what we do for people. And if they need a new roof, if they need tree work, whatever they need, we take care of it for them.
Yeah.
So it really has become, instead of a sale, it's funny. One of the guys said, our good buddy JC Rangel, JC goes, "It's not a sale anymore. It's an IQ test."
He's not trying to say anything. If you didn't get it, for the person who's watching, hold on. If you didn't get it, if you didn't get what he just said, you got an IQ issue. Okay. If you didn't get what he said, talking about you.
I mean, when you think about it and you look at it, and there's zero money coming out of pocket.
Yeah.
And they're going to save $135,000. Oh, this particular person saving $135,000 over a 25-year period. I mean, it's just insane.
You're talking about an investment. I mean, it truly is an investment opportunity. I mean, I know it's not technically an investment opportunity, meaning you're not putting money for ROI, but you
could buy it if you want. I tell a lot of people, because there's tax incentives, but unless you can take advantage of those tax incentives, don't buy it.
So let's talk about let's educate on those.
Yeah, sure.
The tax incentives. If I buy, what are some of the advantages?
So there's a 30% tax credit. It's not a rebate. So if you don't pay much in taxes, like you run a business, you run a lot of, I'm sure, expenses through your business, and it gets to the point then you pay yourselves, and at that point in time,
please don't talk about IRS and taxes. I'm gonna cry.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
I'm kidding. Good.
But let's say you don't pay much in taxes. You may say, listen, you have 5 years to use it, but you may say, I don't really pay a lot in taxes, so I don't have enough left. I have a bunch of deductions. Maybe you're a real estate investor. You got a bunch of deductions, whatever it is. You're retired. You don't have a big tax event. You're retired. You got a lot of people that are in different situations. At that point in time, I tell people, listen, it's not worth buying it for you. If you can't take advantage of that 30%, don't buy it. Do a lease or a PPA, which is a power purchase agreement. And the beauty part of that is you get all the advantages of having utilized that tax credit as far as the price you pay, because the company that's leasing it to you or doing the PPA has taken all those tax benefits and used them as passing them along to you to give you that price. The other thing that's really cool is if you lease it or do the PPA, you don't own it, but there's a guarantee, a production guarantee that comes with it. So the company who's doing the guarantee for you, if anything goes wrong, they monitor you 24/7. If anything goes wrong, they show up at your damn house, get on the roof and fix it. Because if you have less production than you're contracted for, they have to send you a check.
And nobody wants to send me a check.
Nobody wants to send you a check. So it really,
which is a good accountability system if you think about it. Hit them where their heads in their pocket, and then they will do their job the proper way the very first time.
Exactly.
Some of the for a PPP, it's a soft credit check. For a purchase, obviously, is a hard credit check.
Yep.
What would you recommend for somebody? I mean, 70% of the United States right now is struggling either paycheck to paycheck, poverty line, or bad credit.
Right.
So what do you recommend for somebody to make sure they have the best chance to qualify for solar or take advantage of what you're sharing with us right now? I mean,
a 650 credit score is a must, or you got to grab a cosigner.
What I'm saying, and again, this is
but your monthly price, your monthly out of pocket is going to go down.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody
that
I've sold so far,
yeah.
nobody that I've done a sit with,
yeah.
that I went in and said, your price is going up.
But the fascinating thing, and this is maybe the coach and the consultant in me, that one person like, well, Ali, you don't understand. I'm struggling with money. Everything is behind. Cool. Can you help me make money so I can catch on and everything? Like, I mean, you have the other side of that. Can we talk about, there is a referral model as well?
Yes.
So is that something that you would say is robust enough? I know you've mentioned that could be one sale that could put you on a profit, but talk to us about, is it simple enough?
So we do a few different things. So number one, I work with people who work with people that own houses.
Yeah.
So whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're a contractor, a plumber, a roofer, an electrician, you do yards, you're a landscaper, you do.
It's a natural element to you to deal with homeowners
You're with homeowners every single day.
Right.
Not all of them want to talk about solar. Many of them have had a look at solar maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
and dealt with an annoying salesperson or canvasser or whatever the bad experience could have been. Yeah.
But what they don't understand is technology has advanced a little bit. The rates have advanced a lot. So what would have been borderline 3-4 years ago is now a golden opportunity.
Yeah.
So when the people start to bitch to those people who work with folks who own houses, when they start to bitch about their electric bill, or you could say something, I mean, they could just give them a quick nudge and, you enjoying the freaking electricity rates we're getting these days. It'll set people off. I nudge them. You know me. I like poking people. I poke them. And people go off.
Kevin will send the message. Hey, did you hear the good news? Well, they're increasing the electricity bill. What are you talking about? Where is the good news, Kevin? I'm here. That's the good news.
Right. There you go. One of the companies in Connecticut just put in for $105 million increase. They're looking to increase the delivery 34%.
And is that inflation? Is that just gouging? Is that just, hey, historically, I mean, once upon a time it was 5 cents a gallon of gas. Today is $4. So we're
but a lot. You know what a lot of it is a really old, beat up infrastructure. When you look in the Northeast, I mean, our infrastructure is in tatters. And what they're doing is they're charging a lot of money because they got to pay the linemen more.
And then update and
they got to update
fix
stuff.
And rebuild and all that stuff.
They got substations that are going down that are taken offline.
And the People's Republic of China's got to get their money. Did I say that out loud? They don't own the grid.
No. But what's nice with all those people, when they refer folks to us, every time we make a sale and glass goes on the roof, those people get a $1,000 referral fee. Just like that.
All right, say that one more time because I heard $1,000 referral fee.
So let's say you're a real estate agent.
I'm a real estate agent.
And you go out and you talk to your folks.
Okay.
And some of them are bitching about this or bitching. You say, you're gathering information. You know that these people pay on average $600 a month for their electric bill.
Yeah.
You're selling their house to new people.
Okay.
The new people come in. Guess how much they're paying for their electric bill? $600 a month on average.
Yeah.
You can tell them, hey, by the way, you know what that bill is because we disclosed it to you.
And I just paid it yesterday.
Right. Would you like to talk to a buddy of mine who can save you a stupid amount of money?
Especially if there's a trust factor, it's an easier conversation. So if you were to go to my buddy's house that I said, hey, let me connect you with Kevin. I think he may be able to help you out with that.
Yep.
You close that deal. You get him installed. I get $1,000.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Kevin Marino. Okay. No, it's fascinating. And by the way, let me put my
an Encore Solar.
I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. So for anyone who reaches out to us about just getting a consultation for solar, I'm willing to give a 4-night, 5-day trip to Mexico, all inclusive, food, beverage, and lodging. You just got to cover your taxes. We can't pay for your taxes, about $240 of taxes, but it's a $3,000 trip. And I guarantee you have nothing to worry. There's no timeshare. There's no presentation. So we don't sell you information. You just go on a trip, but you have to sit down with one of Kevin's peeps and just do an evaluation for your circumstance. And I don't care if you do solar or not, as long as you are a qualified prospect based on, you guys variables to qualified prospect. Just for sitting down, we will give a vacation for every single person who sits down with you guys. 4 nights, 5 days.
Nice.
All inclusive trip to Mexico. And they have up to a year to use it. So
that's awesome.
They don't have to take it tomorrow or leave it. They just got to let us know when they're ready to travel. That's
a good deal.
That's putting my mouth where my money is. What was it? My money, my mouth.
One of those.
Mino English. All right. Let it, there you go. We just had a Mino English moment.
Yeah, that's putting a trip where my mouth is.
Let me, dude, I have to. We're sitting in the event, and this is, you weren't there. Rick Roman and I are doing an event with Laura Hardy that came over, and we're talking. And I'll give you what is happening, and then I'll tell you the story. Rick is looking at me and he's doing this. Like basically, and I'm like, what are you doing? And everybody's like either laughing or they're doing like, and I'm not getting what's happening. So here's what I'm saying. Guys, you just have to remember, you gotta just focus on one thing: putting seats in the butts. You just gotta be a professional at putting seats in the butts. What I'm trying to say is, you gotta be a professional, put butts in the seats. That's your job. You just gotta put butts in the seats. And I'm screaming the whole time. Really funny. Put seats in the butts. And Rick is like,
the other way around.
And everybody's like doing this, and I'm like, what is happening here? Like, and then somebody goes like, you mean butts in the seats? Yeah. What am I saying? They're like, saying seats in the butts. Me no English moment, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, but yeah, I'm definitely willing to put that on the table. And anybody, just let us know in the comment. We'll connect you, or you can go right now to legacy.encoresolar.com, or just in the caption or in the copy of this episode, there's a link that you can click on, and it'll take you directly to request your consultation.
And encore is like ON, like on.
Yeah. Like turn on the light, core values. See what
it's not the French word.
Can I get an encore? Yes, I know. But we'll do it for the remainder of the month. So for the rest of the month, every single consultation that is a qualified sit down, we will absolutely just gotta obviously let you tell your people to call my people, and we'll hook them up.
We'll hook them
with
up.
100%.
4 nights. I know a guy. You know a guy.
4 nights, 5 days, all inclusive beverage, sit down,
and we can expand it a little more. We can actually do it for commercial as well.
I am for commercial as well. If Kevin says, Kevin will receive.
And if you're one of these guys that has acreage and you're interested in doing a solar farm and stuff like that.
Sure.
We can make that happen as well.
And there you have it. So just let us know in the comment, obviously, and we can.
If you want to do solar, just call me. We'll do solar.
if you really want to.
Yeah, if you really.
So
and we'll show you the money.
Yeah,
that is for sure.
Yeah, and
you talked about there's also opportunities if people want to do it as a profession.
And that's what I was wondering earlier, because
we're bringing people on,
because people are hurting. Let's call it for what it is. And you've mentioned earlier in terms of network marketing has changed, and a lot of people are not making a lot of money or any money at all. And your confidence in the sense that, hey, yeah, there's work to be done. Like ain't nothing for nothing, right? But
$1,000 per referral who goes isn't going to make somebody a full-time income.
I understand that, but if it was not as valuable as I know it is, my dumbass wouldn't have been saying 4 nights, 5 days, vacations. Obviously, there's the harvest is plenty,
right.
So but the workers
but
are
if they're
few.
Looking at it to do as a profession, even if they can't sell, don't worry about it. We have the people
training,
we have the training, but we also have the mentors to close the deals for them. And they'll teach people how to close. And if it gets to the point you want to close your own, no problem. You make extra money if you close your own.
Yeah.
If you want the mentors to always close them for you, no problem. They will not argue with you. Yeah. They'll sit there and just keep closing for you. So there's a lot of money on the table. Part of it, comes from some of the incentives. part of it comes from the fact that the pricing on the materials have come down, and a lot of them are now being made here. So again, I believe it or not, pricing has reduced since some of them started being made here, which is great also. And, moving more and more manufacturers.
That's actually really good, because the pitch back 10 years ago was they were cheaper when you bring them from China and whatnot. So that's amazing. It's good for the jobs as well here in the United States. But yeah, that's look,
we don't want as many as we can, get as few as we can from China.
He said it. I appreciate the opportunity to catch up. I feel like this was
fun,
long overdue. Absolutely was fun. My love and my regards to Diana. That 4 nights, 5 days is available for you right now for you and wifey whenever you guys want to take it, of course.
Next time I'm bringing the boys.
By all means, he's got some of the most disciplined pups I have ever seen, and God bless. I mean, they're royalty. Live like royalty and act like royalty. I mean, I think just imagine 2 dogs that did hang out in a baby shower for 3 hours, like a physical hotel event baby shower, and they were part of the event.
They just chilled.
Yeah, and everybody enjoyed them and played with them, and
they were on stage with me a number of times.
Yeah, they will be on the side of the stage just waiting for him until he gets done. Yeah, so I can't wait. But I wanna again thank you for gracing us with your time. Thank you for the opportunity for the interview. Thank you for spending the time. Thank you for allowing me to have a little bit of just closure, I guess, for sometimes we miss out on things. How much more fun could we have had? How much more business could we have done together? How much more money could have made together? Had we not allow I'll speak for myself, my emotions to get in the way in the wrong way. And so many people, hopefully they can learn from this as well. So as we are coming to a close, I want to give you the opportunity to address everyone or the one that may be looking right now. And, what do you want to leave our audience with as your final remarks, whether it's, we understand the call to action. There is opportunity to do great, to be great, to make money, to work and make a lot more. And you shared a lot of goodies, and I saw a different side out of you today that I appreciate and I cherish and will forever. But if you can look at this camera right in here, and your final remarks for everybody from back then till today, and what are we expecting from Kevin Marino in the future?
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a long road. A lot of it has been extremely fun. Some of it has completely sucked. I mean, I think that's what, I think that's what life's about. I mean, I'll give you a quick little thing on travel. If you ever travel, just go into travel thinking it's going to completely suck. Because when it does, your expectations have been met. If it doesn't, you had an amazing trip. And I had to learn that over a long period of time. And I just traveled out to the West Coast, and I had one of the most horrific trips out there. I got there, I got out of my seat at the end after delay, snoring idiot next to me, screaming baby in front of me for 4.5 hours. I got up, big smile on my face. I go walking out, and the flight attendant looks at me. She goes, "You're in a good mood." I said, "Well, I always look at the fact that travel is going to suck. And today it lived right up to my expectations." And she got a kick out of it. I got a kick out of it. And then just moved on with life. The trip through life is is the fun part of it. And again, some of it's good, some of it's going to suck. But guess what I'd like to get through to people that are watching this, that have known me for a long time, is, hey, I'm looking to help as many folks as possible. In my opinion, I have a way better mousetrap than we've ever had. I have the ability to help every single person make money. I've never had that opportunity before. We always knew going in, some would, some wouldn't. The reality here is every single person, there is no excuse whatsoever that anybody can't make some money here. There really isn't. I can come up with an excuse for you. I can help you work on an excuse if you really, really want one. But the reality is, let's just do it. All right, I'm here to lock arms. We got a great team. We got a great trainer. We have an amazing product that puts crazy money. We used to get excited about putting $10, $20, $30, $50 in customers' pocket on a monthly basis. Now we put hundreds, save people $100,000+. It's the insanity of what's going on right now. And the cool thing is, I get paid to save people that much money. That is the coolest thing. And I'm enjoying it, working with really good people. There's something here. Love to connect with you again. Reach out, whether it's a direct message, whether it's, you still have my phone number, text me. I don't care either way. Shoot me something. Let's reconnect. I'm looking forward to it. I'm out of my hibernation. That was COVID. Looking to really just rock and roll, get hooked up with some people, and let's get social again. Let's go do it. Let's make a difference. We made a difference when we save people pennies and dollars. How much of a difference can we make if we save people tens of thousands or $100,000 plus? How much of a difference can we make? So with that being said, Ali, I really appreciate the conversation, because you always were one of my favorite people, and I'm glad that we're back chatting and rocking in life together. Let's have some fun.
Hey, Rich, did you get that last part? You were always one of my favorite. I want that part right there cropped. Sponsor, add the shit out of it everywhere. I want to piss everybody off. I want to start drama. I want West Coast, East Coast, Tupac, Notorious B.I.G. just for that one moment.
That's awesome.
Hey, man, thank you. I appreciate you.
Power your home with clean, renewable energy? Imagine a future where your electricity bills are significantly reduced and you're making a positive impact on the environment. Welcome to the world of solar energy. Solar power harnesses the limitless energy of the sun to generate electricity. It's a sustainable and eco-friendly solution that not only benefits you, but also the planet. One of the key advantages of going solar is the immediate impact on your monthly expenses. Say goodbye to soaring electricity bills and hello to substantial savings. Going solar requires zero out-of-pocket expenses for you. Instead of paying a never-ending high utility bill, you can now pay a lower solar bill that has an end date. With various financial incentives, tax credits, and rebates available, the transition to solar is a no-brainer. Our team of experienced professionals is here to guide you through the process. We'll assess your energy needs, customize a solar solution for your home, and ensure a seamless installation. Solar panels are built to last, with minimal maintenance required. We monitor the system for you, so if there is an issue, we will most likely catch it before you do. Along with our 25-year guarantee, if your panels underproduce what we contractually said they would, we will cut you a check for the difference. Imagine never having to worry about your electricity going out ever again. Solar-powered homes with blackout protection not only keep your family safe, but also increase the value of your home. Let's recap. Going solar saves you money, makes you money, increases the value of your home, and protects your family from rolling blackouts. Deciding to go solar has never been easier. Join the solar revolution and be a part of a sustainable future. Contact us today to schedule a consultation and take the first step towards powering your home with the sun. Let's make a positive impact together.